Hello, 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 and happy snowy Tuesday evening. Jess Newpower hopping on live from our snowy St. Cloud, Minnesota, where our weather has totally turned from summer back into winter and it's still fall. So, I don't know, go figure. Anyway, how are you doing tonight? I hope that you are well, and I hope that if you're local, you got to get out and were able to safely maneuver yourself around. If you had to be doing any traveling whatsoever, I know I had to get out and take Christopher to hockey and pick up Mackenzie for basketball. So I got to slip and slide out there with everybody else who was sliding and slipping. So, but tonight, in light of, not to make fun of the snowfall, but in light of the snowfall, I thought that I should share my 9 tips that can help prevent any injury that you could potentially incur while removing the beautiful white stuff that's out there called snow. And so let's just dive right into it, right? So number 1, you want to make sure that you're warming your body up. You got to treat this whole snow removal process just like a workout, and you need to warm your body up. It's really, really important. So many times we forget, we neglect to do that for ourselves and for our bodies, and we end up paying the price for it later on. And it's so simple, really, as just going ahead and taking 2 to 3 minutes to warm your body up. And doing that will really help to set the pace for not only just the snow removal process, but for how you're going to feel when it's over. Number 2, make sure that you are pushing your snow and you're not lifting. And if you do lift your snow, if you end up getting to a pile, you're lifting with your legs. You're doing the whole, crouch down and lift up with your legs. You never, ever want to lift with your lower back, with your back at all, period. That is actually where 73% of injuries in the snow removal process come from, is by lifting improperly, by doing so with your back instead of with your legs. And so that is never a good thing. All right, the third thing that you want to do is, depending on your age, choose your shovel wisely. So why did I say age? Because the younger you are, the more resilient you are. But the older you get, it's not so much that the shovel itself is harder to lift up or anything along those lines, but it does add that little bit of extra weight. And if you're out there, like I was this evening for an hour, removing some snow with my daughter, I should say, not just some snow, it was like 6 inches, and we had some drifts of a good 8 inches in a couple of spots. But you want to make sure that you're choosing a good shovel. You want to, if you want the ergonomic, that's going to help to reduce the amount of bending that you have to do. If you want the straight one, just pay attention to the material that your shovel is actually made out of. The fourth thing that you want to do is you want to lighten your load. Make sure that, again, in choosing your shovel, that they have options out there that are lighter plastic models, or you've even got some of those steel cores that really aren't as heavy as some of the older models are. So it might be time to upgrade your shovel, especially if you are getting a little bit on in years, like this girl right here, because, I am definitely not a spring chicken. I'm not ready to be put out to pasture yet either, but I can promise you that tomorrow, even though I did my warm up and my cool down, I will feel my shoveling tonight. So, but go ahead, consider getting yourself a lighter shovel. There's nothing wrong with that. All right, the fifth thing that you want to make sure that you're doing is that you're taking appropriate breaks. If your body is starting to hurt, or you just feel a little bit of a tinge of pain, take a break, hit the pause button. It's okay to do that. It's really okay to do that for yourself, because you are going to end up preventing a potential injury that you wouldn't be able to, come back from and get back out there and continue with the snow removal process. So is this helping so far? I really hope so, especially you St. Cloudians and really my fellow Minnesotans who are going to be digging themselves out here from looks like the bottom of the state to about, a good 3/4 of the way up. So, all right. So the sixth thing that you want to do, 6, 7, 8, sixth thing, is that you want to consider taking multiple trips. And what I mean is that you want to consider shoveling periodically. It kind of goes in relation to the seventh tip, which is to keep up with the snowfall. Don't wait, especially if you've got an all-day storm that's going to happen. Don't wait until the very end of the storm to start shoveling, because it's going to pile up, and the more that it piles up, the heavier the snow is, especially with the variance of moisture in the air. Sometimes, especially in your early fall, to late, well, I should say early to late fall snowfalls, where they tend to have more moisture, just like your late spring snowfalls. They tend to have more moisture, and so that's going to make your snow a lot heavier, and you're not going to want to be pushing around a lot of heavy snow. And so when you keep up with the snowfall, yeah, it means a little more time outside, but when you're keeping up with it, you're actually really saving your body a lot of aches and pains in the long run. Make sure that you're wearing layers. This is tip number 8. You can easily remove layers, but you can't add layers and get warm once you've been outside moving around. Another thing with wearing layers is because you are doing exercise and you are moving around, you do have the potential to get warm. And so you want to slowly make yourself acclimate to the temperature. You don't want to be going from like your winter coat, your parka, down to, your t-shirt, tank top. You want to take it off layer by layer, because you can actually cause yourself to drop in body temperature too quickly, which could also cause injury. And the last tip that I have for you is make sure that you stay hydrated. My kids tease me about it. I'm always asking for water whenever I'm outside shoveling, and I just guzzle that stuff while I'm working out there when it comes to cleaning up the yard or the driveway with the snow and stuff. And I absolutely love when my water bottle is outside and it is snowing, because it gets really, really ice cold. There's just something about yummy, delicious ice cold water. I know it sounds weird to be drinking ice cold stuff in the middle of winter, but I love it. It's refreshing and it's hydrating, and it's very helpful for you. And hydration helps to prevent injury as well. And so let's recap those 9. We've got, make sure that you're doing a good warm up, and it doesn't take more than 2 to 3 minutes to do. Make sure you're pushing instead of lifting. And if you do lift, what do we lift with? We lift with our legs. We don't lift with our back. Number 3, make sure you're choosing a shovel that's appropriate for you. And don't be ashamed, number 4, to lighten your shovel's load by going to a lighter material like a plastic instead of a steel core. Number 5, make sure that you do hit that pause button, and often, especially if you start to feel anything that's out of sorts or that's starting to hurt you. Number 6, consider multiple trips. 7, keep up with the snowfall. 8, wear layers. And 9, stay hydrated. And so I hope that you found some value in these 9 tips that I brought to you tonight. But in addition to these 9 tips, if anyone's interested, just drop me a comment below. I will give you the warm-up that I do and the cool down that I do before and after I go out and shovel. Again, I know it sounds kind of silly, but really it's a workout. And so as with all of my workouts, I like to do a nice warm-up and a cool down. And I'll happily send to you what it is that I do before I hit the snow, if you will, and after I come back inside the house. But I also got, any of you hot chocolate lovers out there, this really awesome hot chocolate recipe that I'll also share with you if you want it. So, Kristen, hi, happy to have you on here. Thanks for tuning in. All right, I hope that you found some value in these tips this evening, and I really hope that you have a safe snow removal, especially to any of you Minnesotans or Wisconsians or whoever else is being affected by this beautiful little winter wonderland that we have the opportunity to enjoy. I appreciate you for tuning in. Thank you so very much. Have an amazing rest of your evening, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.